Which cheap and mass-produced item is stupendously well engineered? I really like Bic products. Lighters, ballpoint pens, razor blades, etc. They're all very robust despite being cheap mass-produced plastic items. Whistle. For a few cents, you can be heard in the middle of nowhere for nearly a mile. Much louder than your voice. Great if you are lost. Toilets. I've been a plumber 20 years and very little has changed, or needed to. Minimal upkeep, cheap and easy repair, very long life. The intermodal shipping container, the Connects box. There are millions of the damned things all over the world, in use every single day. They are stackable, can be locked together, attach readily to ships, truck trailer frames, and rail cars, and can bear enormous loads. The cost of their manufacture compared to their economic use value over their useful lives is next to nothing. Zip ties, such a simple piece of plastic but so versatile. I have one of the old-fashioned chain-link fences. Some of the fasteners on the middle poles broke and in high winds the fence was swaying like crazy. A half dozen zip ties on the 3 posts and it doesn't budge and nobody even knows they're there. The brick. Made out of mud and lasts for centuries and the way it can distribute load for large buildings. Soda, beer cans. The design has existed for decades with few changes. It's a way of using a relatively small amount of cheap metal to withstand the pressure of carbonated beverages with a reliable opening mechanism. During pandemic I also noticed that some companies stopped using thicker material on the upper ridge of the can, probably due to supply shortages. They instead used a sort of stepped system that appeared to be almost as strong. The lighter. Spontaneously ignite fire basically whenever you want. Not exactly cheap, but I'm impressed that I can have a ceiling fan run on high for 15 years straight and not have it explode on me. Toilets. They use nothing more than gravity to reliably flush. Doesn't use power at all. The humble corrugated cardboard box. It's lightweight, strong, splash-resistant, somewhat padded, doesn't break down in heat, cold, scratch-resistant, recyclable, biodegradable and able to be assembled cheaply into any size. The basic design has existed for over 150 years. The retail shipping industry runs on cardboard boxes. Road reflectors, countless lives saved. Quartz movement clocks, you can literally pick one up for £2.50 here. This link, the technology and gearing that goes into its functions is well worth the costs. Metal pencil sharpeners, the manual kind, not electric. Don't buy the plastic ones in the school supply section. Go to the art section. Those metal sharpeners are choice. Glass bottles. And #X200B. Let's melt this rock into a clear, brittle material and turn it into what? Windows? Decorations? Screens? No, we're making pressure vessels, baby. The humble monoblock chair. Commonly known as those white plastics chairs you can find absolutely everywhere in the world. The aluminium beverage can. This link. Batteries are marvels of engineering packed tightly into a minuscule canister. Even AA batteries are incredibly sophisticated internally. Injection molded stuff like plastic ball valves. Stuff we don't think about, but is amazingly good and cheap. This link. The zipper. It's a very cheap mechanism that secures objects in a very neat fashion. No wonder it's used in most objects that need to be opened and closed, such as luggage and jackets. Soda cans. The level of engineering in the average soda can is absolutely mind-blowing. LEDs. Cheap diodes. Even colors. Okay, I dislike the blue ones but tint them and you get warm white. Hinges. I had to study on them for my engineering class. Screws. Can you imagine what would happen if all the screws suddenly disappeared from world? Everything would fall apart. A doorknob and a lock. Not that they don't have their flaws, but I'd have a hard time making something that works that reliably, that frequently. Clothespins, pegs, the wooden ones. People keep on trying to find some other way to do the job but never come up with something this durable and reliable. Tarps. A million tasks for them, they're incredibly versatile. Make a shelter, make a floor, make a carriage vessel, make a weatherproof housing for firewood or anything outdoors you want protected. Use it at a picnic, it's better than a blanket on the ground. Because of the threading they're still mostly effective even when a tear develops. And because of that same threading, they can distribute weight and hold up against snow and rain buildup. Then you can just take it down, spray it with a hose if needed. It's good as new. Fold it up to a compact form, and toss it in a corner until you need it next. You are never far from a store or gas station that sells them for cheap. Always keep one in your trunk. Tough question. I'd say stainless steel cutlery. How many other things in life are used almost every day, then machine washed, thrown haphazardly into a drawer and regularly survive in a working condition for much more than a century? Post-its. We had some chemical engineers from the Post-it division of R&D at 3M come into my high school chemistry class. The amount of work in creating a layer of adhesive that is effective and stays on the note so it can be reused without leaving residue behind is insane. There's actually 4 different compounds that are layered into the back of a Post-it, with the final adhesive being microscopic droplets spaced a precise distance apart so that there's no excess. Hard drives. Fucking spinning glass discs that hold terabytes of data. The jerry can. They are insanely strong as well as stackable. So many cool design features on them. The Wonder Bar. It's a crowbar. The screw. People say the wheel was the great invention, but everyone forgets about the screw. And I mean the abstract concept, thereby including drills, water pumps and so on. The mechanical pencil. Sure, everybody has a phone in their pocket to take notes or solve math problems, but can it write on practically any surface? Pencil marks simultaneously last forever and can be removed in an instant. On some surfaces you don't even need the eraser. You ran out of lead. You can refill it for pennies. Your eraser is gone. There are fewer variations than phone chargers, so replacements are a cinch. You somehow managed to get it to the point where it is so FUBA you can't use it. You can get a pack of 6 for the price of a Happy Meal or a pack of 48 for the price of a footlong. It is simultaneously worthless and invaluable. Hyper-specialized yet versatile. Meant for school children because they make so many mistakes, but still used by adults because everyone makes mistakes. Permanent now but gone in an instant. Never meant to be repaired, but a child can disassemble it. It's never going to expire. It's never going to leak, it will never stain. It writes in the rain. It is the silent workhorse. It wrote that novel. It drew that sketch. It solved that equation. And if you're John Wick, it killed 3 men in a bar. It is what humanity has been moving toward ever since the first caveman started his first drawing. It is not perfection, but it's the closest we will get. Edit. Thank you kind strangers for the awards. These are the first ones I've ever gotten, so of course it would be on my dumbass love letter to mechanical pencils. Schrader valve. Just think of the number of those in service every day, from the most simple to complex pieces of machinery. And where we would be without them. Actually, egg cartons and milk jugs. Egg cartons are super cheap and absolutely best way to store eggs. Milk jugs feel cheap and flimsy. But they are designed to deform and absorb the shock of a drop. Those containers used to store Chinese food. They are durable, compact, keep the food hot, and don't really leak. They also collapse into a plate if you choose to. My favorite thing might be they don't take up much space in the rubbish bin either. Great product, and must cost less than a cent. Lego brick separator E. Also work great for cleaning, removing keys from mechanical keyboard. Legos. Virtually indestructible through normal means, last forever, extremely simple, endlessly versatile, and now they are manufactured with recycled plastic. The Lego Group is also the world's largest manufacturer of car tires in the world. Carabiners, cheap, easy to use, super useful for just about anything, and the higher grade ones, 30-ish USD, can hold up a truck. What else needs to be said? Computer processes, they're rocks we tricked into thinking. Those thermic isolated cups you see construction workers drinking from, you can't say Stanley or Yeti is just junk after trying it out. As a new parent. Diapers. Disposable diapers in particular. Imagine being told as an engineer, you need to design a device to contain the vilest, grossest materials known to man. Both liquids and goopy solids. This device must have 3 tight seals against a constantly moving and wiggling life form of inconsistent size. Said life form has notoriously delicate skin, so the materials you can use are drastically limited. It must be able to be removed and installed in seconds by amateurs running on approximately 14 minutes of sleep. And it has to cost about 30 cents a unit. Jerry can. This link. Box wine spouts. They flat out don't leak. Not even a drop. The second you release the button, that's it. Impressive tolerances for such a cheap product. While not actually engineered, I've always thought of blankets like this. They automatically custom fit themselves to every user and self-regulate heat. They're extremely cheap to manufacture while also being incredibly resilient to damage. They require nearly zero operation instruction regardless of user language proficiency or intelligence. And all with no energy usage whatsoever. From a product design standpoint, I find it difficult to come up with anything better or more of a perfect fit to its purpose. Mechanical pencils and their leads. Consistent size of the most fragile thing you've ever seen, shipped all over the world. Tires, they are a part of the vehicle's suspension, displace water, take serious loads in multiple directions and work across a large temperature range. The engineering and material science behind them is fascinating. Lego. When's the last time you got 2 bricks that didn't fit, or that were loose? Hi. I do clinical engineering tech work on research equipment. The Drummond pipette is easily my winner. We've got original ones that require very little maintenance, and when it does break, the parts are so replaceable our researchers don't miss a beat. The company produces the same original parts and it's super easy to work on. Paper clips. Never saw a defective one. The shipping container. It's cheap for what it is, works miraculously well, and has significantly increased the standard of living for almost every human on Earth. The obvious answer here is the aluminium can. Safety razors. The base will last you years, the blades can last 1 to 3 weeks, and the total for one base and 50 blades is like $30. They also give way better shaves than modern multi-blade razors as well. The wheel. Have yet needed to reinvent it. Legos. Precise engineering across generations. Umbrellas. They are cheaply made due to a lack of a stronger but cheaper material in the industry, so often they are threaded as whatever, but the simplest umbrella has a complicated mechanical arrangement with thin and small parts that in theory it should be super expensive to build them despite the materials, but you know, China cheap and probably inhumanely threaded workforce make it work. Honda, Toyota cars. Definitely cheap and mass-produced, but engineered amazingly well. The toilet. Just plop your shit away, or was your piss down there and hit flush and go bye-bye turds. Amazing. Meanwhile the poor suckers in third world countries still doing it in the street or down a mass-dug hole. Be grateful for the humble toilet, it's so underrated. The Costco membership card. What else costs you $4 a month but makes you spend twice, or more, the amount of money you intended to spend? Anyone ever leave Costco without spending $100? If you liked the video, please consider subscribing and liking. Any feedback in the comments would be greatly appreciated so that we can make these videos even better. Thanks for watching Upvote Stories.